friends, we are going to make homemade granola bars tonight. Why? Because granola bars and snacks that you buy in the store are so expensive. They're chock full of ingredients that are not good for your body, and they're just wasteful with all those packaging and all that. So we're gonna dive right into a recipe that's so easy tonight. It's tasty, it's easy, it's economical, it's quick. We're gonna tackle how to clean it up in a really easy way, and also how to store them in a less wasteful way as well, so that you can live with less waste and live healthier and live more. Okay, so let's dive right in. If you don't know me, my name is Melissa Lang, and I am a homeschool mom of 8 kids. I have a homestead named Little Oxen Farm here in upstate New York. I love Norwex to clean up all the messes throughout my life and all the messes throughout my home, on my kids, everywhere. So we're gonna tackle a lot of the mess with Norwex because it's so much easier and so much healthier to do that. Okay, so this granola bar recipe is tried and true. We've made it several times, and sometimes we failed, so I've learned a lot along the way, but it's so easy and so yummy. So the first thing that I did is I mixed a bunch of dry ingredients together. So I'm gonna show you what the dry ingredients are that we like to use. We use oats, okay? We like to buy oats in bulk from Costco. They have a really good sprouted organic oats in Costco, so that's great. We also have coconut in the dry ingredient bowl. We have got some dried cherries. If you you can use really any dry fruit that you have on hand. You can use raisins or whatnot. We also have in here, we have some almonds. I didn't have any slivered almonds, so I just chopped up a couple of these, or some of these, and that's what we have in the dry bowl, okay? And then I mixed the wet bowl together on a saucepan on medium heat right here. So in this wet bowl here, we've got some brown sugar, we've got some honey, we've got a little butter and a little bit of salt. That's it, that easy. So now I'm gonna go ahead and mix in. We're gonna mix in the wet stuff into the dry stuff right here. And this is such an easy recipe that your kids can make it. Teach your kids how to make it so they know where their snacks are coming from. And truthfully, we're not a huge snack family. We're more like have our 3 meals together and that's it. But we've got some growing teenagers now in the mix too. So it's great, especially in the summer months, to have some on-hand quick things to grab when you're out and about as well. So this is a great recipe for that. I forgot to grab them from my pantry, but I have some dried bananas, unless my daughter, sometimes she'll grab the dried bananas and feed them to her rabbits. Rabbits love them. But I love it because they add in a little crunch to your granola bars. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix in my wet in with my dry. And I doubled this recipe because I have a very large family and these store really well. Keep that in mind, they store really well. You can freeze them if you want to. Okay, so you're gonna mix that in like that. I'm gonna take a little bit of mini chocolate chips, about 1/3 of a cup. I'm gonna sprinkle those in there. A little bit of that, and I'm gonna add some more, a little bit of chocolate chips after I'm done putting them in my pan. Okay, so after I'm done mixing that all in, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come over here. I've got 2 pans because I doubled them. These are 13 by 9 pans with parchment paper on them. And I'm gonna put half on one, and then I'm gonna put the other half on the other. That. Okay, so after that's all on there, then I'm going to, you want the parchment paper to be overlapped, okay? And then I'm gonna go ahead and you want it to be overlapped so that you can pull it out when it's all done molding together. So it's kind of sticky. So to keep that in mind, it's gonna be real sticky. All right, so I'm just gonna put that in there like that. And then I'm just gonna take a little bit more chocolate chips like this. I'm gonna sprinkle them on the top, just sprinkle them on. And then we're just going to push them in a little bit. After I sprinkle them on, I'm just gonna push them in a little bit. Okay, that's all there is to it. And then you're gonna put your pan in the refrigerator or the freezer. Make sure it's in the refrigerator for at least 2 hours. Then you pull them out of your pan and cut them up, okay? Messy hands here. So what do I do about all the mess? I love grabbing like a Norwex countertop cloth or a kitchen cloth just with water. If you're new to Norwex, these cloths remove 99% of bacteria from just your water. I mean, sorry, they remove 99% of bacteria from your surface when used and cared for properly. So it's so easy just to grab a wet cloth and clean up the messes. They absorb tons of mess as well. And then all I do is rinse it out in between uses. So I love using that for the surfaces. And then when I go to store my granola bars, I'm gonna grab, I like using glass storage containers like this. This is a huge one that I have here that's a little bit wet. So something I love in the Norwex kitchen is having some kitchen towels. They're incredibly absorbent. I'm gonna go ahead and dry this with it. It's incredibly absorbent. Norwex has backlock silver technology embedded into all of the fibers of the cloth. So making all of the cloth self-purifying. So you're not gonna have to launder them very often. Literally the silver inside of the cloth will self-purify your cloth between uses. So you can, in between uses, you just hang to dry. See, I have another one hanging over there on my oven over there. And while it's hanging there, the silver is self-purifying it, cleaning it for you, so that when you use it to dry your hands or your pots and pans or whatnot, you're gonna touch a clean cloth, which is pretty cool. You're not gonna have to launder it very often, and you're not gonna get a stinky cloth. So love these. And then to hand wash, I'm gonna do any hand washing. I love our dishcloth. So that is my favorite. These are my favorite. This is my favorite recipe for a snack for my kids. It's great on the go. It's economical. It's easy. You can explore and have fun with little mix-ins in there if you want to. And enjoy. The recipe is below. Check out the recipe. And we'll see you next week for another mini workshop that's going to cover more just tips and hacks on how to live a frugal and sustainable and less stress-filled house as we are living life together, you guys. All right, we'll see you next time.